So there are nearly 100 neighborhoods in Portland, and Southeast Portland features some of the most popular places to live. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why Southeast Portland is one of the most sought after areas in the city and highlight the very best neighborhoods in this quadrant for you to consider. So let's dive in and explore why you need to move to Southeast Portland. Hello, I'm David Backholer. I'm a real estate broker based here in Portland, Oregon. Now, many of my previous clients believe that Southeast Portland is the best quadrant in the city. It's a fascinating part of the city full of charm and character. You'll find plenty of older historical homes, and there's plenty of fantastic places to eat here too. Now, homes here range from the classic craftsman style properties to stunning historical mansions and also some smaller condos and townhouses. You'll find mature tree-lined streets, vibrant local businesses and a strong sense of community. Now, if you're looking for a blend of urban convenience and residential tranquility, Southeast Portland is really hard to beat. Okay, so now let's dig into some of my favorite neighborhoods in Southeast Portland, and let's start with Mt Tabor, which is a neighborhood named after the extinct volcanic cinder cone at its heart. And it's one of the few cities in the US with a volcano within city limits. Now, the Mt Tabor neighborhood is perfect for those of you who love nature, history and stunning views. Okay, so let's take a look at the map to show you where Mt Tabor is located, and then you'll see where it's southeast Portland. So it's down here where this red dotted line is circled. So if you know where Laurelhurst is, it's very, very close to Laurelhurst. In terms of Mt Tabor itself, you'll see a large proportion of the land in Mt Tabor is taken up by the park, and this is that volcanic cinder cone. So it's quite mountainous, very steep. That means along the east-hand side, you'll have some fantastic views looking east towards Mount Hood. And then on the west-hand side, overlooking the reservoirs, you'll see the downtown area. And you'll have some beautiful houses, especially along this east side here, with some fantastic views. In terms of bars, restaurants, cafes, shops, Burnside, Belmont, Hawthorne, and Division. Those are on the edge of Mt Tabor, and then you've also got some more kind of on the outskirts on 82nd and down in Powell as well. But you have quite a few things right on the edge of Mt Tabor. Coquine, I haven't been there. It's a kind of a restaurant right in the middle of the neighborhood. Supposed to be very highly rated, so I need to check that out. But overall, it's a nice residential neighborhood with the park obviously takes up a large proportion of the land. It's a big feature of the neighborhood. Okay, so let's dig into the video. So one of the key features of the Mt Tabor neighborhood is the stunning Mt Tabor Park. The park is built on an extinct volcanic cinder cone, and it offers some of the best views of the city. The park has an extensive network of walking trails, so it's a favorite spot for hikers, runners and anybody else looking to enjoy the outdoors. And then the summit of Mt Tabor offers spectacular views of downtown Portland and the West Hills, and on clear days you can even see Mount Hood and Mount St. Helens. Now, one of the most striking features of Mt Tabor Park is the historic open reservoirs, and these were constructed in the early 20th century. They provide a picturesque setting but also play a crucial role in Portland's water supply system. Now, many of the houses in the neighborhood are located on the side of the mountain, and they have some spectacular views. and you can just about make out Mount Hood in the far distance. Now, walking through Mount Tabor, you'll notice a variety of home styles from historic craftsmen to fairly modern newer homes. The average in home size is typically from around 1,800 to 3,500 square feet, which is around 3 to 5 bedrooms, so you'll find a real mix here. Now, not all the homes are on the side of the mountain. There's also the flatter area down below, and that's an easier walk too. Now, later in the video, we'll talk more about new homes in this neighborhood, and we will of course go into detail about how much it costs to purchase a home in Mount Tabor. Now, Mount Tabor is conveniently located near several shopping and dining options. Belmont Street and Hawthorne Boulevard are just a short walk or bike ride away, and they offer a variety of cafes, restaurants and grocery stores. And you'll also find plenty of cozy coffee shops and unique retail stores nearby too. So if schools are important to you, then Mount Tabor is highly rated. The Mount Tabor neighborhood is served by the Portland Public Schools District, and that includes the Franklin High School, which according to greatschools.org is rated 7 out of 10. The Mount Tabor Middle School has a Great Schools rating of 8 out of 10. And then the very highly rated Glencoe Elementary School has a Great Schools rating of 9 out of 10. So what are some of the top reasons why people would want to live in the Mount Tabor neighborhood? Well, one, it's got fantastic natural beauty. The iconic Mount Tabor Park offers breathtaking views of the city, and it's a favorite spot for hiking, picnics, outdoor activities, working out, walking the dog, for example. And the park's trails wind through lush greenery. You've got several reservoirs that offer fantastic views and a real unique touch to the landscape. Now, another reason you might want to consider this area is that most homes in this area date back to the early 20th century, and they range from classic craftsman bungalows to larger mid-century designs. Now, the starting price point in this neighborhood for a single family home is going to be in the upper 500,000s, lower 600,000s. And of course, townhouses and condos in this area are going to be much cheaper. You might find a condo for under 300,000 in this area, townhouses perhaps around 400,000. Okay, so to recap, Mount Tabor has fantastic views. It's a good place to live if you like the outdoor life. You've got great hiking trails in the park itself. It's quite steep, and the houses here are quite reasonably priced. Again, single family homes around low 600,000 starting point. That's going to be for like a 2,000 square foot property. If you're looking for something larger, and there are larger homes in this neighborhood, you could be going up in the upper 8s and 900,000s and touching the $1 million. If you want a house on the side of Mount Tabor Park with fantastic views, you're going to be looking at that low $1 million to $1.5 million for something around 3,000 to 3,500 square feet. Okay, so now let's move on and talk about a second neighborhood in Southeast Portland, and let's talk about Ladd's Addition. This is Portland's oldest planned residential development, and this neighborhood uses a very unique diagonal street layout. It's lined with towering elm trees, and it makes it really a standout both in design and atmosphere. So I'm going to bring up the map and show you exactly what I mean here. Okay, so this is our map of Portland, and Ladd's Addition is located in southeast Portland, and you'll see it's down here with the red dotted outline. Let me just remove that outline actually, because it's actually unnecessary. You'll see the layout for Ladd's Addition is completely different to anywhere else. You know, on the east side here, it's got the diagonal kind of blocks, which makes it kind of a very unique feature. So it's this entire area here. Now, there's these 4 diamonds, and then there's the center circle. These 4 diamonds are beautiful rose gardens, and you can walk through these. They're spectacular. I'll show those later in the video. And then this is almost like a traffic roundabout, but it's quite large. It's a traffic circle. There's plenty of places to sit inside there as well. In terms of facilities within Ladd's Addition itself, there's just this one corner here. You've got a coffee bar. There's also a clothing store and a tattoo shop literally right here. But otherwise, in the middle of Lads Addition, there's no other cafes, bars, restaurants or stores. However, on the outskirts of Lads Addition, this is Hawthorne to the north, right? Southeast Hawthorne, which is just north of Lads Addition. There's loads of places along here. And then Division, also lots and lots of places, especially as you go a little bit further east. And then also to the side, 11th and 12th Avenue. So this is one of the best areas in Southeast Portland for bars, cafes, restaurants, stores. Hawthorne Asylum, located right here, where you'll see, I'm just trying to scroll in. This is a food cart pod, and there's probably 20-25 different food carts. I think it's one of the biggest in the city, so there's plenty of places there to get food as well. You've also got Cartopia as well, so within a few blocks you've got plenty of places in close proximity. In terms of where this is located compared to some of the other major neighborhoods in Portland, similar neighbours to Lads Addition, you might have Laurelhurst, so this area right up here, slightly to the northeast of Lads Addition. Down here you have Selwood, Westmoreland and then Eastmoreland, which are other beautiful neighbourhoods. And then I would say a couple of other neighbourhoods which are similar to Lads Addition are going to be Irvington, Grant Park, Alameda, Beaumont, Wiltshire, all have those older, beautiful, historic homes. And then one other thing I want to call out, Lads Addition is very centrally located. It's in a fantastic location because just across the Willamette River, you have downtown Portland, you've got the Pearl District. This is where you're going to find even more places to get great food, shop, wine and dine. So overall, the location of Lads Addition makes it very, very popular, and the unique layout of Lads Addition really is an attractive area to be. Okay, let's jump back into the video. So why exactly does Lads Addition stand out? Well, you've got some historical charm here too, like most of Southeast Portland, and the homes in Lads Addition are primarily from the early 20th century. They're craftsman and colonial revival styles, and they really show that character and elegance throughout. And then another reason why this neighbourhood stands out is those beautiful little rose gardens. These are these diagonal rose gardens. And you'll find 4 rose gardens throughout this neighbourhood, and they have a really natural beauty that the residents take pride in, and they maintain these gardens. And it's a good place for that community, again, to come together and work together to make it a really attractive place to be. And another reason that makes Lads Addition really popular is its location. Lads Addition is in an incredible spot close to downtown, but you've also got many features in the neighbourhood itself with coffee shops, bakeries, boutiques just a short distance away. Now, one of the most fascinating aspects of Lads Addition is its history. The neighbourhood was developed in the late 19th century by landowner William Ladd, a prominent businessman and a former mayor of Portland. Now, Ladd's vision for the neighbourhood was to create something different from the typical grid pattern found throughout the rest of Portland. And the result was a diagonal street grid that radiates outwards from the centre circle with 4 smaller diamond-shaped parks located at the intersections. This unique design was inspired by European city planning and remains one of the most distinctive aspects of the neighbourhood and the entire city today. Now, Lads Addition was one of the first planned residential communities in Portland, and its streets were designed with walking and cycling in mind long before cars dominated the landscape. Now, the neighbourhood's iconic rose gardens were planted in the 1920s and to this day are maintained as public spaces, adding to the neighbourhood's charm and appeal. So as you walk through Lads Addition, you'll notice that the homes here are as unique as the neighbourhood's design. Many of the homes were built in the early 1900s and feature beautiful architecture styles, including craftsman, colonial revival and Victorian. And these homes are often larger with spacious front porches, intricate woodwork and stunning gardens as well. Now, one of the standout features of Ladd's Addition is the beautiful, well-maintained parks. There's 4 of these diamond-shaped parks which are full of roses, and there's also the center circle with trees, and it's beautiful overall. Now, this is a great place to sit out and relax. These roses have been here back since the 1920s when the neighborhood was first built. So overall, this is just a generally beautiful place to be. Now, as mentioned earlier, Ladd's Addition is very centrally located. You're just a few minutes away from downtown, but you also have plenty of options on the doorstep. Ladd's Addition is located just steps away from some of Southeast Portland's most vibrant shopping and dining districts. Now, there's plenty of places to get food in Southeast Portland, but the 2 busiest streets where you'll find most options are Hawthorne to the north edge of the neighborhood, and then Southeast Division, which is just to the south of the neighborhood. So if you want options just steps away, this is going to be one of the prime neighborhoods in the entire city. And it's not just bars, restaurants and cafes, but also several independent-owned shops and entertainment options here too. So let's take a moment to talk about schools. Now, according to the ratings on greatschools.org, it shows it's a bit of a mixed bag. The Abernethy Elementary School gets a sensational rating of 10 out of 10. The Horsford Middle School has a rating of 7 out of 10, but then the Cleveland High School has a fairly average rating of 5 out of 10. So overall, if you have kids on the younger end, this is going to be a great neighborhood. But if a top-rated high school is important to you, then being in the Grant High School catchment area could be a better option. And this is going to include neighborhoods like Irvington, Grant Park, Alameda, Beaumont Wilshire, and Laurelhurst. And then these neighborhoods also going to give you a similar vibe with older, more mature tree-lined streets, but also historical homes as well. Now, before we move on to the next neighborhood, I want to remind you that every week I release new videos on what it's like to live in the Portland metro area. So if you're considering making the move, I recommend you subscribe to my channel to receive all of the latest content, and also reach out to me if I can help you further. Now, I am a real estate broker based here in Portland, Oregon, so I'll be able to guide you through the process and help you find the perfect home for you. Okay, so now let's move on again and talk about Eastmoreland, which is one of Portland's most prestigious neighborhoods. It's known for its large lots, stately homes, and serene environment, and Eastmoreland is a gem for those of you seeking a slightly quieter, upscale community. Now, there's several reasons why Eastmoreland really stands out. Firstly, you have that architectural elegance. Eastmoreland is home to some stunning Tudor, colonial, and mid-century homes, many of which sit on spacious, manicured lots. Now, these homes are definitely going to be at a higher price point. It's hard to find anything under $800,000. Most start at around $900,000, but homes here are a little bit larger, maybe starting around 2,500 square feet, and they go up to around 4,000 square feet, and those homes are going to be over $1 million. Now, the neighborhood is anchored by Reed College, which is in the north of the neighborhood. This is a picturesque liberal arts school with beautiful grounds that's open to the public. Now, some other great features of Eastmoreland is the recreation. You've got the Eastmoreland Golf Course and also the Crystal Springs Rhododendron Gardens, and they offer plenty of activities within that neighborhood. Now, many of these homes also overlook the golf course, which makes it feel incredibly green and tree-lined streets throughout. Okay, so let's take a look at a map and show you where Eastmoreland is located. Now, as I mentioned at the start, Eastmoreland is in the southeast section of Portland, and it's down here. You'll see it's just east of where it says Selwood-Moreland, and it's right here, so Eastmoreland. So Eastmoreland is really this section here. So the west-hand side goes up against the Crystal Springs Rhododendron Garden, and I will show that in part of this video. Below that, this green section is actually the Eastmoreland Golf Course, and some of these houses along Southeast 27th actually have fantastic views over the golf course. And then the east side goes basically up to Cesar Chavez Boulevard, and that includes Berkeley Park, which I'll show you a little bit later on as well. So really, it's just this kind of small section just here. North of Eastmoreland and is Reed College, part of the Reed neighborhood, And then you have, as I mentioned, Selwood Moorland, which is down here on the west hand side. That's where you're going to find very walkable cafes, bars, restaurants, small boutique shops. It's a charming little area to hang out, grab some food. And then also east of Eastmoreland in the northeast section, you have Woodstock. And again, there's a commercial area there with a bit more casual kind of vibe and some, again, good places to kind of hang out. Okay, let's get back into the tour. Now, if you're a golfer, then this might be the neighborhood for you. The Eastmoreland golf course, which is right behind me, this opened in 1917. It's actually Oregon's second oldest golf course. It's a full 18-hole course and it costs around $45 to play around here. Now, something you'll notice is that many homes in the neighborhood actually face onto the golf course. The golf course is really a centerpiece for the community, so many homes here have great views, and it also makes the neighborhood feel more green and less densely populated. Now, on the topic of houses, you're typically going to find larger homes here than the average across Portland. This is a fairly affluent neighborhood, so home prices are going to be on the higher end, and we'll touch on prices a little later in this video. But if you start to look behind me, you'll get an idea on the vibe of homes that are in this area. The smaller homes in the neighborhood are around 2,500 square feet. The larger properties go up to around 4,000 square feet and a little bit higher, but most homes here are going to be 3 to 5 bedrooms and single family homes. It's an older neighborhood. There's approximately 1,600 households here, and most were built between 1910 and the mid-1930s. This is also a neighborhood where most people who live here own their own home. In fact, approximately 90% of the houses here are owner occupied. Now, bordering the Eastmoreland golf course is the Crystal Springs Rhododendron Garden, and this is one of the highlights of the community. It's a botanical garden located on the northwest side of the neighborhood. It's approximately 9.5 acres in size. It opened in 1950, and it's a really beautiful place to come for a stroll. So in terms of other amenities in the area, you have Berkeley Park, which is where I am right now, and this is situated on the east side of the neighborhood. Now, this was turned into a neighborhood park in the early 40s, and as a playground for kids. You've got some tennis courts behind me, and there's some fields here used for baseball, soccer, and softball. Now, in terms of other amenities such as shops, restaurants, and cafes, there's actually none of those in Eastmoreland. However, in the neighboring neighborhoods of Selwood Moorland and Westmoreland, both of those to the west, you'll find a thriving commercial area with shops, stores, restaurants, and cafes. And then Woodstock to the east also has plenty of stores and places to grab a bite. These are all places that are within 1 to 2 miles. That depends on what part of Eastmoreland you're located at. Now, I just want to talk briefly about the schools, and there's several options in the neighborhood. So according to greatschools.org, the Denaway Elementary School is rated 10 out of 10. Selwood Middle School is rated 7 out of 10, and then the Cleveland High School is rated 5 out of 10. Okay, so there you have it. 3 incredible neighborhoods in Southeast Portland, each offering its own unique charm and lifestyle. Whether you're drawn to the natural beauty of Mt Tabor, or the historical charm of Addition, or the elegance and the upscale Eastmoreland, Southeast Portland has something for everyone. Now, if you are considering a move to Portland, or if you're already here and looking for your perfect home, I'd love to help. Please reach out to me and let's find the right neighborhood and the right home for you. Now, please do like the video and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll receive more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.